Hi guys, in this video I will actually be answering a question from a subscriber. Now by answering this question, what in effect I will do is I will teach you how to write an essay on any topic about human beings, whether that's one person or people in general or a group of people, doesn't really matter. I will show you how to structure it easily, because there's an easy way to do it. The first, let's address the question from the subscriber, okay? Actually, the request. Thank you for this video. I am trying to write an essay about honesty, right? An essay about honesty with 3 domains: the cognitive, effectiveness, and behavioral. Could you share your ideas? And I would appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Good question. Now, let's notice something about this essay topic. Now, first of all, I'm not crystal clear on what exactly the assignment is. Honesty with 3 domains. Now, I looked it up. I looked up 3 domains. These happen to be the 3 domains of learning: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Okay, fine. Psychomotor, behavioral, doesn't really matter. If it seems complicated, don't worry about it. I will explain it to you right now and make it really simple. Here's what is really going on. Here's what's really going on. We have one concept that we need to discuss, because the essay, notice, is supposed to be about honesty. There we go. Now, but honesty in the context of 3 different things. 3 domains of learning: cognitive, affective, and behavioral. Now, so let's go here. Let's talk about this. So honesty. We need to talk about honesty in terms of 3 things. Honesty, actually, this is in learning. Okay, honesty, learning, because these are 3 domains of learning. These are not just 3 domains. These are 3 domains of learning, because according to my research, right? And this is what exactly I came up with here. So the 3 modes of learning. 3 modes of learning or 3 domains of learning. Okay, fine. 3 domains of learning. This is how I approach this. These are the 3 domains of learning. And let's talk about this. Cognitive, affective, and according to the question, behavioral. So let's put behavioral here. Now, excuse me. Now, here's something interesting, right? From the student, we have behavioral, but my research says psychomotor. Is there really a difference? Well, let's look. Let's take a look. Here is let me give you the foundation. It is always easy to write an essay about a human being or about human beings in general by talking about 3 things. 3 things every human, not human, but human being has. Hopefully, right? but in reality, yes, all people do. Number 1, every person has an intellect. Every person has emotions. And every person has a body, which means physicality. Now, does this make sense? Everybody has the intellect, which is basically what happens in our brain. Well, emotions are also kind of happen in the brain, but they happen more kind of on the bodily level. But then there's the body. Intellect and emotions have to do with the mind. And then the body has to do with the body, with physicality. Now, just look at these 3 that the student is asking. See, we need to write about honesty. We need to write about honesty in terms of cognitive, affective, and behavioral. Well, cognitive is about thinking, which is intellect. Affective is again about emotions. To be affected by something means to emotionally respond. And behavior is, of course, body. Well, there could be, you can make an argument that, thinking is also a kind of behavior, but in reality, what we're talking about is behavior. Now, if we look here, psychomotor. Now, psychomotor really means, what is motor? Motor is physical, we're moving. Psychomotor. Now, because the human being because every single human being, without exception, has these three parts, has these three aspects to them, it makes it easy to write about them. Now, you can write about a human being just in terms of these three things. You can simply write, let's say you can write an essay about your friend. Let's say my friend Andy, and of course you always, the first step, the most important thing you need to do in the very beginning is to come up with your main point. What is your main point? That is the main challenge in any essay. My friend Andy is, and now what? Let's say you're trying to write an essay about your best friend. Let's say my best friend Andy, but you have no idea what to say about him. Okay, he's been my friend for many years, but I have no idea what to say. Okay, is he smart? My best friend Andy is very intelligent. He's very intelligent. And look here. We'll keep it simple. My best friend Andy is very intelligent, kind. Kind is a kind of an emotional quality, right? And physically, let's say, and physically strong. And physically strong. There we go. And this is your description of your friend, which puts your friend in a very positive light. This is highly positive, all positive. Now, what if you wanted to do something like a balanced view of your friend? Let's say my best friend Andy is very intelligent and a great athlete. Now you can say, although he can be very sensitive sometimes, that does not ruin our friendship. You see? So what am I doing here? I'm putting together a very different thesis statement, because I'm saying two positive things about Andy. He's very intelligent and he's a great athlete, but I'm saying something negative as well. I'm saying that, well, yes, he's also sometimes sensitive, which means, he's very sensitive to criticism or something. And I can explain that in the body of the essay. But I say that does not ruin our friendship. You were still best friends even in spite of that. But you see, I'm putting two positives and one negative. Well, two positives, where do they come from? Well, he's intelligent, that's intellect, and he's a great athlete, that is his body. But I'm putting his emotions on the negative. He's just emotional. He's an emotional guy. But we're still best friends. Okay, this is how I can write an essay about any human being. Or any process that involves human beings, such as, we'll go back here to learning. Learning is about human beings. And now that we know that learning happens in three domains, on the level of the mind, on the level of emotions, and the level of behavior, meaning physical body, now we know that we can just use these three. Now we understand that these just mean thinking, feeling, and behaving. So here are the three main things that every human being has, and let's actually break this down a little bit more, just so we understand what's going on, and to make it easy to break down any topic whatsoever. Intellect is about mind. Okay, it's about thinking. Again, it's cognition. You see, that's intellect. Emotions are about feeling. Affective, right? being affected by something, being sensitive, but it's about emotions, it's about feeling. The body is about what? Physicality. Let's put physicality here. Being physical, behavior. You see? These are three very different domains. This is something that's very easy about this, is that they are so different that it's easy to write about a person like this. Can you write about your friend Andy being intelligent? Yes, he's really good at math, and he does really well, and he wins all these awards or whatever it may be. Now, he's kind. Yes, he's kind. When he sees a kitten, he wants to feed it. Okay, and that's just a completely different thing from being smart. Being smart and being kind are two very different things. And he's physically strong. You can talk about him being a very good athlete, or just being the strongest kid on the block, or whatever. Okay, you see how easy that is? Now, let's get back to our question. The question is, I'm trying to write an essay about honesty with three domains: the cognitive, affective, and behavioral. Okay, fine. So we'll come back here. Honesty in terms of three domains of learning. Now we need to put together, what do we need to do? The first, and again, like I said, the first and the most challenging thing in writing an essay is coming up with the main point. I actually already did a little work and I came up with this. Okay, let me just show you. Not this, but actually this one over here. And let's paste it here. Let's see what I came up with. Mutual honesty in both the teacher and the student facilitates the learning process in all three domains of learning: cognitive, affective, and behavioral. I just gave you the main point, meaning the full thesis statement as I wrote it. It took me like a couple of minutes to think about it because I've done it so many times, but here we are. This is a complete thesis statement, you see? Now look at how this works. We have honesty, right? There we go, we have honesty. We have learning. So these are two concepts that we are connecting. Okay, what are we saying? So forget about the three domains for now. Just look, mutual honesty in both the teacher and the student, right? That's why mutual, facilitates the learning. So what I'm saying is, in simple terms, honesty facilitates learning. This is my very, very main point. This is the very basic main point that I'm making. Now, what kind of honesty? Mutual honesty. That's why I'm thinking that this is already my stuff. I'm already making this up because I'm thinking that this probably makes sense, because like, whose honesty? Honesty of the teacher or honesty of the student? I'm thinking that probably, now, first of all, why did I come up with the teacher and the student? Well, I came up with the teacher and the student because these are the domains of learning. And who participates in learning? Well, the student and the teacher. There's no learning without the teacher and the student. Okay, in order for learning to take place, you need the teacher and the student. See how I'm breaking things down? And then, this is why this creates the word mutual. Why mutual? Because mutual refers to both of them, both teacher and the student. This is how I came up with mutual honesty. Now, I said mutual honesty facilitates learning. Now, I need to specify mutual honesty. Okay, let's say between or in both the teacher, between the teacher and the student, facilitates the process of learning. And I could just stop at that. However, I have my three domains, right? Because that's what the student wants to write about. And in fact, this is very, very helpful. Because now, very helpful, because this allows me to break the topic down even further into 3 parts. As you know, I love my power of 3, and these are the perfect 3 to divide the large topic into. This is why I proceed to saying in all 3 domains. Here we are. Facilitates learning in all 3 domains. Now, facilitates learning, or the learning process, whatever, same thing. Here is the full thesis statement, okay? But I'm just showing you how I built it from pieces, okay? First of all, honesty facilitates learning. Then because it's learning, it's the teacher and the student, so I added that mutual honesty between the teacher and the student. Facilitates learning in all 3 domains of learning: cognitive, affective, and behavioral. And now I know what this means. This is about thinking. Cognitive is about thinking. Affective is about feeling. And behavioral is about changing behavior. And now, because this is my full thesis statement, let me just work with this one. And what are going to be my 3 main sections of this paper? Now, I don't care how big this paper is. It could be 300 words. Obviously, this is not going to be 300 words. This is probably going to be like 600, 1,000 words, several pages for sure. Why? Because this is kind of a complex topic. Okay, so mutual honesty involves the teacher. Now, I need 3 main sections. What are going to be my 3 main sections? Well, I'm going to divide it this way. The first section is going to be about cognitive, then affective, and then behavioral. Makes sense, right? This topic just lends itself perfectly to 3 main sections. Now, in the first section, I'm going to discuss how honesty facilitates, or let's say how mutual honesty facilitates learning. How mutual honesty facilitates cognitive learning, okay, or learning in the cognitive domain. But I'll just keep it short, okay. Or facilitates. Yeah, let's put it fully. Fine. Learning in the cognitive domain. Next, I'm just gonna copy and paste because this is very simple. Next, I'm gonna, in the second section of the body of the essay, I'm gonna discuss how mutual honesty facilitates learning in the affective or emotional domain of learning. And finally, I will discuss how mutual honesty facilitates learning in the cognitive, not in the cognitive, but in the behavioral domain. There we go. In the behavioral domain. In other words, in section 1, I'm going to talk about how honesty makes thinking easier. What does it mean to facilitate? To facilitate really make easier. To facilitate means make easier. Okay, facilitate comes from the word facilis, which means easy in Latin. Okay, so to facilitate means to make easy. So honesty makes cognitive learning easier, makes thinking easier. Honesty in the second section makes emotional learning easier, or helps emotions to kind of facilitate the learning process. Okay, I'm not going to get into all the details of this because you need to do a little research and find out how this works and what exactly you're trying to say. But this is exactly how I would structure my essay. And then finally, in section 3, I would say discuss how mutual honesty facilitates learning in the behavioral domain. How can honesty between the student and the teacher, how can it improve behavior? That's exactly what we're talking about, improving behavior. To facilitate learning in the behavioral domain is essentially is how to improve behavior in the student. And mutual honesty helps that process. It makes it easier. It facilitates that process. Does that make sense? And now all you have to do is go ahead and do your research and figure out how exactly it does. But I'm very, very sure that honesty, otherwise known as integrity, definitely, when there is an honesty between the student and the teacher, that will facilitate learning. It definitely makes things easier because it facilitates trust. It breeds trust. And when there's trust between two people, of course they're gonna teach and learn better. It just makes sense. I don't even have to do my research to see that this makes sense and this is true. I'm pretty sure if I went ahead right now and did my research, I would find that this is exactly true, and I would find like 10 or 20 studies on to support all of these statements. That's it. That's exactly how you do it. And look at how we construct the thesis statement. Mutual honesty in both the teacher and the student facilitates. This is our subject, mutual honesty. This is our verb, and the learning process is our object. And these are 3 subtopics for the power of 3. I hope this makes sense. I hope this is helpful. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it is. Okay. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions for the next topic, if you have a topic you want me to tackle in an essay to kind of help you break it down like this, or if you have any other questions about essay writing or writing an essay in an exam or something, post them in the comments. Post your questions, your suggestions for future videos in the comments. I'll make sure to take a look at it and put together a video like this. Don't forget to like the video, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later.